everybody, and welcome back to Mission Accomplished. I am AJ Caleb and I am standing in for my friend Laumel. He's in school. So we have a very special guest here. I'm not good with names, so please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, AJ. I'm Janet Mbugua. I'm a media personality, author, activist. I think that's how I can describe myself.
Please maybe state some of your hobbies.
I like going for walks. I know. Haven't done that in a long time though. I like once in a while catching up on an interesting series and spending time with my kids and my dogs.
So tell us a little bit more about yourself, like what you do, how you do it.
What I do and how I do it. What do I do? So I started in TV. I was a news anchor. And I feel like ever since I left TV, I do the same thing. I talk about issues. How do I do it? On social media, through Instagram. I also do content creation. So it's not always heavy issues. Sometimes it's lifestyle. And how else do I do it? I moderate events. And yeah.
Talking about social media, did you always want to be a journalist or did you change it up later on?
It's a good question. I actually wanted to be a psychologist. And then one of my teachers, when I was in high school, told me that she feels like I can do something in media because I had this deep voice and I was doing a lot of acting in high school. So that's how I changed it up, from inspiration from my teacher.
If, like, 15-year-old you came, like, if you went there, what would you tell her about yourself?
What would I tell 15-year-old Janet? I would tell her that the thing that she's feeling in her gut, that she's passionate about, she can find a way to explore it. When I spoke to you earlier, you talked about when your child has an idea, try and see it through, right? You said something like that.
Yeah.
I think I would tell her that. I would tell her to have the confidence to explore what she's passionate about, because in the end, I found that passion, but it came to me much later. I would hope that she finds it earlier.
If she came here, like, to this place and talked to you, do you think she would be proud about what you've accomplished?
Wow. Wow, AJ. I think so. I hope she would be. Because life doesn't always happen the way we want it to. I think she'd be proud of me. I hope so.
I've heard that you've made a company. So, like, talk about that company. Say stuff about the company. Say what its goal is. Say what the flame was. What inspired you to create it?
I have a foundation called Inua Dada, and I came up with it because we had a story when I was in the newsroom that showed how girls in certain parts of Kenya were going through a lot of difficulty to a point where they were not able to go to school. And so I was inspired to create something that helps them get information to go to school. And then after that, I also formed a media company, which is really new because I also want to continue telling our stories.
So I'm guessing Inua Dada means raise the girls.
Yes, raise the girl, uplift the sister. Yes, that's what it means.
How did you come up with the name?
We needed something that showed that we were supporting them, because a lot of children and girls and boys have their own internal power. So instead of saying help them, it's how do we uplift them? How do we support them? So I thought of Inua instead of something like Saidia, because Inua is about dignity, and that's how I came up with it. Lift, exactly.
You said girls and boys. What about those girls and boys that want to become like you, that want to become like the star, the leader, Janet? What would you tell them? What would you like advice?
I think the one thing I never stopped doing was using a platform that I have. The way you have this platform, I would advise people that whatever it is you want to do, you just have to keep doing it. Don't stop, don't overthink it, don't talk down on yourself. Use whatever platform you have and keep practicing until you get to the point where you're comfortable enough to do something.
So before you became a big hit, what were the challenges?
Before I became a big hit. The challenges are, You're working, challenges are you have to prove yourself, right? When I first did radio, I was 19 years old, so I was very young. I was the youngest in my organization. When I first did TV, I was 23 years old.
Oh,
at that time in Kenya, there were not a lot of 23-year-old anchors. So the challenge was I was young, the baby, kind of. I was very young. So the challenge was trying to prove myself in a place of adults. That was hard, but I kept practicing. I kept asking for advice. It's good to ask advice. People think it's a sign of weakness. The best thing you can do in life is seek advice.
So you're saying to the people who want to become like you that never stop asking for advice. Never stop asking for advice.
Do you think that's good advice? Do you think it's good to keep asking advice?
Yes.
Never stop asking for advice.
I have a question, my own personal question that I've wanted to ask you. When you were starting, what was your goal for the company?
My goal was to reach as many people so that the conversation was not always about, oh, these people don't have, that the conversation moved to, now they're able to do more with what they have. So the goal was just to narrow the gap. The gap was this wide. My goal was to try and find a way that I could make it more and more narrow. Have I achieved it? Not a little bit, but only with the help of many other organizations, but there's still a long way to go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for this entertaining section. I've loved talking to you. Everyone, you've heard it from Janet, Caleb, logging out.
High five.
We are Mtoto News, a digital platform that empowers children. We curate and create engaging content about and by children. Through audio, video, writing, and infographics, we believe children should be players, not spectators. Through child-led research, we amplify young voices, shaping policies and programs. To partner or donate, send an email to info@mtotonews.com or call 0705855258. Mtoto News, making children visible.